All right, thanks for checking out our second video of this. I think this is going to be a part. I think it's going to be a two-part deal. This is going to continue on from our last video where we tested this. This is a Gallagher Alleyway low bar, and we determined that we had faulty cells, what we thought. So when we took the low bar apart, a mouse had got in there and actually chewed this cable up right here and chewed some of the wires up. And luckily, both cells ohmed out fine on the readings, and we're going to reuse this chunk of cord that came off of here, and we're going to just solder and heat shrink this back together. So if you want to check out that video, that should have a little blip going across the top of the screen. Click on that, and that will be part one. But I'll also try to put a link down in the description area for part one, so if you want to see how to take this low bar apart. So if you have a low bar is having issues, you can take, on a Gallagher one anyways, you can take the low bar apart, and you can send in just the cells and the cable into, it's going to be a lot less freight and a lot smaller box. And you can put probably one of those like medium or large flat rate box for like 15 bucks, 20 bucks, versus a whole low bar, which will probably cost you 30 plus, depending on where you're located, of course. So now I'm going to do some soldering, and we're going to it's basically solder color to color between this cord and this chunk of cord here, but I'm going to twist these up to make them a little more solid with stranded copper. I'm going to cut off some of the X, I don't need that much showing. Cut a little bit off of this one too. All right, so I'm I'll put the heat shrink on this one after I put some solder on each of these wires. They both got to be soldered, so it doesn't matter which one we do first. So basically, I'm just going to tin each of these wires, put some solder on each one. Luckily, this is a fairly cheap fix compared to having to change out a load cell. We still got I'm not going to show the full repair on it because you got like the epoxy dry, you got to put the junction box together, and it takes some time to do, and you got to let the epoxy harden up, and it takes a few hours. So this won't be a full finish of a repair, but we'll be able to at least put it back together enough to where we can test things and show you hopefully that it's working, because we also checked out the yellow cable and that was good to go. And you can go to our website, there's a link down below in the description area. Hit that little drop down arrow and that'll bring that up. So now we're going to cut off a little bit more of this insulation here, of the outer shield. We gotta be kind of careful, don't cut too deep into it so it doesn't. Let's do it this way, so I can slide this heat shrink on there far enough to where it doesn't start to pre-shrink. But also I want to slide a big tube. I actually don't have to slide, I can put it on over this, I think. Yep, that should work. All right, so we're going to do, let's pick the red one first. Take the red wire here. What's still not working? You put the new orange thing on there? I don't know. This has got a bad board in there. I mean, I know it's a new one, he says, but who knows how new it is. Did it start clicking?
Yeah. I don't know if it made me or not. It clicked like 3 times. Fairly quick and it stopped.
Too much solder on there. Red one's done. And, so the white one, since it's right there. Yeah. I think it's a Mark 6, or no, SE3 or SE2. Huh? They're up top. Top shelf with the blue Rex. It's in one of them. Oh, the red ones. It's in one of them. They're all a little bit different. Let's look at the back side and it said SE2, SE3. I don't like that black one. I need to redo that black one real quick. Which one do you need, an SE2?
SE3 PCS. We will have it.
I have no idea.
SE3 pieces.
I guess.
Phew.
So now we're going to get all these wires covered up with this heat shrink. And with the heat gun out, heat shrink all three of them, all four of them. Hopefully that black one's wide enough or whatever, big enough around to go over all four of them. And now we'll heat shrink the whole thing. All right, so now what we're going to do, geez, it took forever. I'm going to twist the wires inside these low bar cell cables and twist them together, color to color, white to white, green to green, and so on. And once we get done with this, we're going to take the yellow main cable. It's got red, black, green, white wires inside of it. We're going to do those. These are going to tie into that one. And we're going to temporarily lay the low bar on the floor, hook it up to the scale, and step on it and see if it weighs correctly, which I'm hoping it does. If not, this was a big waste of time. So now we're going to go main cable. Some white wires over here. Black wires crisscrossing, so we'll pull it out underneath. It's out on its own. Twist those together, get them nice down there and flush, even, and we'll twist them together. All right, I'm going to grab the foot plate, which is this big long piece that goes on the bottom. I'm going to lay it on the floor. And then we're going to center the cells on these ends here, and I'll center it right on the low bar itself. And then before we turn it on, we're going to make sure that these wires aren't touching. It won't cause a fire or anything, but it causes not to read right. So I can center it on there and feel it, kind of make sure it's centered, which it looks like it is. Spread those wires apart a little bit where they won't touch. Take this cable. I'm going to plug it into our scale. All right, we're going to make sure everything's still not touching. Anything metal touching together shouldn't be. All right, everything looks like it's in a good spot where it's not going to touch. I'm trying to scale on the M for manual. good sign. Better than what it was doing last time. I'm going to step on it, see what it weighs. Ooh. It's about spot on. So this little bar is done. So the only thing we have to do now is I'm not going to show you how to do it, but we have to basically crimp them wires together with we use a special kind of connector to keep them sealed off. And we got to get another epoxy box. I think we've got, I hope. And then we're going to let when the epoxy finally hardens up, we can put the low bar all the way back together. There's one little potted box I had to find. I got the little box. So, but now that's basically it for this one. You know, like I said, part 2 wasn't super entertaining, you know, whatever, but shows you that's working now. So we've done our part of fixing it. We've got to finish fixing the wiring for it and put it all back together after we epoxy and put all that back together. Then we can bolt it back up and retest it one more time. And then after we do that, we'll probably do a calibration video, show you how to calibrate these things, which these are pretty much spot on, so we don't really need to calibrate it. But if you're not sure if your low bar is right or not, we'll do a troubleshooting thing, and then we can show you how to if you got a W210 weight scale, this will show you how to calibrate it. If it's not a W210, you'll have to get the calibration instructions, which we may have available. Could email them to you, and you can do the process. But the process of doing the actual calibration is basically the same on just how you get into it and actually do it on the scale itself. That's what changes. But hopefully you like this video, and if you got a set of low bars or a low bar that's on the Gallagher stuff that's giving you fits, look us up. Be happy to take a look at it for you. We give free quotes, and we do 1.5 year repair warranties on the repairs that we do. So until next time, see you later, and remember to subscribe.